Hello, I'm Will, BridgeWorksGames.com. You probably won't go there, but that's okay. I still mention it in the intro. Here's my friend Luke, and him and I, we're building a video game together. We're making a tank shooter game. And in our last video, the enemy turret blew up, and now we are going to make its little turret on the top follow the player and possibly fire bullets. We'll see how much time we have.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Let's. Okay.
So let's play it just to make sure we're just to keep track of where we were.
Okay. Whoa.
Kablamo. All right. And now let's...
Got the timing on that smoke pretty good.
I think you're right, because
I guess.
I was looking at the hierarchy there too, and it just went away just in time.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah. I was lucky.
Yeah, that was just a random guess. Cool. Let's go into the script. We have a reference to our turret already, so we're going to use it.
Okay.
And in our update function, let's call follow player, I think. Yeah, update, not I'm dead. Actually, we want it in the if not I'm dead. Right?
Yes, good point.
And then outside of the got hit. Yeah, there we go. That's a good point. That's a good spot. Follow player. Cool. And then we'll head down to the bibbity bottom.
We don't need to pass anything in here, right?
I don't think so. It's just following the player all the time. There's never a time where we don't want it to. And we can always add that later if we wanted to. All right. So first we need a vector 3. And so we're going to do some simple arithmetic. So vector 3, and we'll say target point, or target pose, POS, equals... And you know what? I just realized we need to stop for a second, because what we want to do is right here, subtract the player's location from the turret's location, because you can subtract two vectors together, and then that'll tell you precisely where you need to aim.
Like the direction. Okay.
Yeah. But we don't have a reference to the player.
Oh.
And so this gets a little complicated, because we're gonna make, cookie cutter stamps of these. These are prefabs, this turret. So it's gonna make new ones every time.
Okay. Yeah, right.
So we're going to make a reference.
And this isn't just another public variable where you drag and drop the player object? Or...
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I don't know how it works. So I'm curious.
Let's test it. Let's go that route. And then what we'll do is we'll make two turrets and see how that functions. See how that works. So we'll test it out.
So
first off, delete your line, because we're or comment it out either way.
Good point. Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna spit at you. Perfect. And then we'll head up to the top again. And then
game object?
Yeah, so public capital G. Yeah, you got it. Game object. We could say how about player? Or player obj, which is fine, because now we need a new line here, and I don't know what we called this, so we're gonna have to.
What is it?
The script that the player has. I think player controller. Type in capital P, see what shows up for us. Yeah, no scripts. Tank. Try T. Capital T. Tank. Nothing. Okay, so let's just save it.
Wait, is it referring to the script that we wrote?
Yeah. Do you know what that was called?
It was like Tiger King, wasn't it?
I'm not seeing it.
Yeah,
so let's just save it.
So save it.
Yeah. And then we're going to... What? Why didn't it show up? Okay. Well, there it is. Tank controller. Why don't you double click on it? That way we'll have it available in a different tab in MS Code. There you go.
Okay.
That's
MS
usually what I do,
yeah.
so I can just... Or VS Code, excuse me. So I can just directly reference it immediately. It's right there. Usually.
Sure, yeah.
So let's go to our...
It is there now.
Yeah, there you go. So you can click on that. That'd be great. Tank controller, and then I would say just call this player, which is fine. You can, so the variable name is going to be player. That's perfect.
It?
Yeah, that's it. So now
Okay.
within this script, when we just say player, we don't want to bother with the player object. We just want the player script, and we want to make edits to that.
So do we not need this?
We do. Yeah. So we can't actually take the script component and drag it and drop it into another object. But what we can do is drag the object, and then in our start function, we'll do that right now, actually.
Oh, okay.
We'll go to line 22, and we'll say player equals player object, or obj, dot get component, capital G, there you go, get component, less than symbol, and then tank controller inside of there, because that's the class object that we're, class type. Yep, there you go. That's it. So now every time we say player, we're referencing the script.
Okay.
So let's drag and drop it into the turret, and we're going to drag the tank and put it in there. That's it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Great. Now we can go back into our Delio here. So we can uncomment that. Target position equals
Like player dot or player objects dot what is it, like transform dot position?
You got it. Yep. Awesome. Minus.
Oh, then we're gonna do
Turret.
this dot turret.
Yeah, let's do the turret. There you go. Perfect.
Okay.
And then let's set the rotation. So we're going to create a new quaternion. So capital Q, quaternion. And we'll call it target rot. So target rotation.
Okay.
And then equals capital Q, quaternion. And then dot capital L, look rotation. And this is a function that belongs, so we're going to open it up, parentheses, cool. We're going to put two arguments in there. We're going to put target point, and then comma, vector 3 dot up, lowercase u.
Is it target point or target?
Oh, I'm sorry, target position, my bad.
Okay.
Thanks.
I wasn't sure if it was like a new thing or not.
Yeah, I got you. All right, and then let's set the rotation of this. So turret.transform.rotation equals quaternion dot, there you go, quaternion dot lerp, L-E-R. Are you familiar with lerp? So it's a capital L.
No.
No? Okay, cool. I'll show you real quick. So let's open up our parentheses. We'll finish this up and then I'll show you. And then we'll do my turret dot transform dot rotation. My turret dot transform. There you go. Dot rotation, comma.
Have we defined my turret?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just turret. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Turret transform rotation, comma, target rot, and then comma, capital T, time dot lowercase d delta time with a capital T in the middle. There you go. You got it right there. Cool. That is it. That will make it rotate. So let's save it. We'll go to Unity, then I'll explain it to you.
Okay, gotcha.
Let it import all the scripts, see what errors we got. Okay, looks like we got it. Oh, you know what? So that says target rot with an E. Yours is target rot. Targot rot. It's a spelling error. If you notice on line 120.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no big deal. So we'll save that and head back. Okay, cool. And then, let's see if the turret follows.
Oh, it takes its sweet time.
So we can speed that up, and if you want.
Well,
let me show you where, and then we can actually create a variable to do that.
So, like, is that just built into the whatever that lerp function is?
Yeah, it's exactly what that is.
That's cool.
What lerping does is it normalizes the time between one location and the other, so it doesn't get there immediately. It gets there. So let me show you real quick. Let's unplay. We'll head over to the Unity documentation. So open up your browser. And search for quaternion lerp. I think it'd be a good one to go for. Interpolates between A and B. Do you see that there under description?
Yeah, I just want to see. So we're doing from where the turret is to where the target is, in this case the player, and then the time.delta time
Now,
is the speed. But what is time.delta time?
Time.delta time says normally a game runs at 60 frames per second. Time.delta time translates that 60 frames per second into real seconds, as opposed to otherwise this would look immediate. Within a 60th of a second, it would get from point A to point B. This slows it down. That's all time.delta time does. But what you can do is multiply time.delta time times a variable. Notice they did speed there, and they put theirs at 0.1. We could do that too. So we can multiply it by a variable, have it public. We can edit it in the inspector, and have some turrets go faster and get to the player quick, or other ones that maybe more powerful ones that are kind of like
sure,
rusted and crickety, and so we can set that variable.
Okay, I like that.
The description there says interpolates rotation between. It says from and to, but the idea is you've got two locations like you had said. You're from rotation, you to rotation, and rather than immediately getting there, it normalizes it, and it normalizes it being from like 0 to 1, and gets a perfect percentage between where it is and where it wants to be. And there's one other thing I want to mention with these, something a headache that I've experienced in the past. Notice how it's in the update function. Ours technically is in the update function also, because the update function checks if I'm dead. If you're not dead, then it calls this follow player function. My point is it has to constantly be called over and over and over again. You can't just call this a one-time shot and be done. So if you had, for instance, in our situation where we have a flash, where we say, what's a good, the explosion, right? The explosion just, it happens and then it stops. We have the I'm dead variable. If you have something like that, or another function calls this and not in the update, if it's just called one time, not every frame, you won't notice any change. You'll think that your function isn't getting called, when it is. It's getting called just fine, but it needs to get called multiple frames per second in order to operate the way we want it to. Another way to get around it is like a while loop. You can put it in a while loop or a for loop, something like that. But my point is this function needs, or this quaternion lerp needs to be in a loop of some sort.
Okay. Yeah. Do you know what does lerp stand for something, or?
Yeah, actually, search just lerp. You'll see a Wikipedia page or something on it.
Linear interpolation. Okay.
And then I think that example, notice how the curve is kind of an S. Yeah, I think that's a slurp is what they call it. It's when you go like, but no, actually type in slurp instead of an S. So you can see that first Wikipedia page. In computer graphics, slurp is shorthand for, there it is, short for spherical linear interpolation.
Oh,
yeah,
it's math, man.
It's a quaternion interpolation. There's also vector3.lerp as well as quaternions. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think there's even an S-lerp, so a smooth lerp, but that's when you get into like animation stuff. So it depends on how long you want it to take to get from point A to point B, because it could be to where it like, as it's moving away, it takes its time, goes a little faster, and then slows down before it gets there. Depends on what you want. So lots of options there. But for us, we want it to look pretty smooth and we want it to look cool to get from where it is to where it needs to be. Do you want to add that variable in there?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go in here, public float rot speed equals maybe like 1.5 to start.
Okay.
And then we do time.delta time times rot speed.
I like it.
Right?
Yeah, that's it.
And then maybe a little too fast. Kind of hard to tell.
You will when there's bullets flying.
Oh, actually, no. It does take a second to catch up. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, you'll get a better idea as the bullets are flying.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, what do you think? You want to keep going? Or, oh, you know what? Let's do our test. Let's copy the turret. And let's see how this works. So we're going to make our turret into a prefab. I don't know if we had already.
I don't think we have.
Okay. So the way to do that is you go to your project tab. And let's remove your search and let's create a new folder. Oh, there it is, my prefabs. Perfect. Now let's click our turret tower 03 and drag it into this folder. And then we want to create an original prefab.
Okay.
And that's it. You made a prefab. Congrats.
And then do we delete this?
You could, yeah. We would still need to take our prefabs and put them into the game.
Right.
somewhere.
Yeah, but like eventually we don't want the original to be out here, right?
Totally. Yeah, when we get a spawn manager that's creating many of these, we'll do that then. But yeah, you get the idea. That should work. It's a good thing they're not shooting, because...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there we go.
Wait, does everything else work? Whoa, what's going on? Oh, right, my mouse is... So everything else works.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a reference to the player because it would have to drag and drop every single time.
Oh.
So we're okay for right now. I would say let's just leave it. What we're going to do is create a spawn manager. And that spawn manager always exists in the game, right? So,
and does that help pass variables to the script?
Exactly. So we can have the spawn manager always exist. The spawn manager has a reference to the player. And when it creates a new turret, finds the location, plops it down, reaches that turret's script and says, hey, here's the player. There you go. Every time it creates a new one, here's the player. Here's is the player. And we'll do that to the script every time. But for right now, it's fine. It'll just be something to keep in mind so we don't forget.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there it is. We made the enemy turret follow the player. And next, we're going to make the enemy turret make a bullet to where, it'll shoot the player.
You go pew pew.
Yeah, and that's what we'll be doing next. Thanks. Bye.